The film begins by showing a shaman. He was doing black magic. He had a human body and cow parts around him, which he was doing black magic by mixing them. At this time, Irma comes to him with her sister. Actually, she used to like her cousin and wanted to marry him. But because of her cousin's family refusal, she has decided to marry somewhere else. But Irma doesn't want that. She wants to get her love at any cost. Even she has to do black magic. Here, her sister Wulan stops her and says, "Irma, let's go from here. I don't feel right here." But Irma didn't listen to anyone. Irma tells Shaman that she wants to marry this boy at any cost. Shaman looks at the boy's picture. Irma says, "He's my cousin." Hearing this, Shaman refuses to do black magic and says, "Your life could be in danger." As soon as Shaman said that, suddenly, a ghost enters Irma's sister's body. She is possessed by another entity. Her face became scary, and she threatens Irma that if you do this, your life will be in danger. Hearing this, Irma and her sister both come back from there, and this scene cuts, and we are shown the time after 12 years. At this time, we see Irma with her sister, Wulan, and her mom going to Galing's house, the same boy's house with whom she wanted to marry. It turns out that 12 years ago, Galing got married to a girl named Nisa, and now he had a 12-year-old daughter, Sophia, who couldn't see that she was blind. All these people came here to celebrate Sophia's birthday. At the same time, we see Galing's mother. Galing's mother and Irma's mom are both sisters. We learn that Galing's mother has been sick for a long time. Here we learn that not only Irma, but Galing also used to go crazy in love with Irma. He got married to Nisa at his mom's request, but he was still very close to Irma. But now he realized that while living with Irma, he was being unfair to his dear daughter and his wife. That's why he decided to go away from Irma. But Irma didn't want this to happen, because now Irma was also pregnant. Hearing this, Galing behaves very rudely with her and asks her to go home. Even after coming home, Irma tries to call him a lot, but Galing was continuously ignoring her calls. Irma's sister, who knew everything about Irma and Galing, says to Irma, "Now Galing can never be yours. Why don't you leave him alone? You know very well that he has a family, and you are ruining his family." Irma gets very angry with Wulan's words, and she scolds Wulan and throws her out of her room. At this time, she is angry with Galing than Wulan, because there was a time when Galing had promised to live and die with her. But now that he had forgotten everything, in anger, Irma goes to Galing's workplace. She was angry at this time and was asking Galing to accept his child. But here too, Galing doesn't listen to her and behaves very rudely with her. At this time, Irma picks up a knife to threaten him. Before Irma attacks him, Galing pushes her and she falls down. Because of this accident, she had miscarried. Galing himself takes her to the hospital, and when Irma regains consciousness, Galing is held responsible for all this. Here, Galing calmly explains to her, "Look, Irma, I am married. We can't live together anymore." But Irma was not ready to listen to him. She was repeating the same thing. "Look, Galing, you promised me that you would never leave me." But here, Galing suddenly gets angry and throwing some money on her and left from here. He did it so that Irma also knew that he would never come back. She had lost everything. She screams loudly and decides to destroy Galing. After the scene gets cut, we are shown Galing again, who was returning home after work. On the way, the imam comes out of the mosque and tells him, "Galing, now no one from your family comes to the mosque. You should come to the mosque and worship. Worship stops all the bad things before coming to us." After that, the imam gives a gift to Galing for his daughter Sophia. Galing goes to his house after that he was very tired, so he fell asleep. While sleeping, Sophia came to him. Sophia awakened him. And here we are shown that Sophia had taken her eyes out, to which she says to Galing, "Dad, this time if you give me a gift, then give me eyes." After seeing her dangerous act, Galing's eyes suddenly opened, and we came to know that it was just a scary dream of Galing. He gets scared and goes to his daughter Sophia. And here, while looking at Sophia, he remembers his past. When Sophia was about to be born, he didn't take care of his wife. He didn't take her to the doctor, and because there was no proper checkup, today Sophia had no eyes. The next day, after being discharged, Irma tries to contact Galing again. First, Galing ignores her and then picks up the phone and scolds her very badly. Irma gets very angry at Galing's behavior, and instead of ruining Galing, she decides to get Galing. And now to get Galing, she made a very bad decision. She went back to Shaman. Now she was going to do black magic on Galing. After meeting Shaman, Irma tells him, "I want Galing at any cost, so that there should be no other woman in his life." Although before this, Irma had no problem with Nisa or Sophia, even though she loved Sophia, Galang's daughter, a lot. But now Galang's behavior had brought her to this point. She tells Shaman, "For this work, you can take any amount for this work, but now I want Galang single." Shaman still tells her, "Look, girl, you're not listening. This work is very dangerous." But Irma didn't care. Irma gives all her and her sister's gold jewelry to Shaman. Seeing this, Shaman's mom also tells Shaman to do this work. At her mom's request, Shaman agrees to help, and then tells Irma that there are many kinds of ghosts in this world, and one of them is the Nazir ghosts, who are non-believers and hate Muslims. And using these ghosts, they will do black magic on them. For black magic, he needed some things. This black magic was going to be done on Nisa Galang's wife, so that he and all her relations die. Shaman gives her a photo as well as Nisa's hair and blood, through which Nisa will be possessed. Nisa will be affected by black magic. Also, for black magic, Shaman needs a freshly dead human's leg bone, on which he will do his magic by wrapping the cow's intestine around. Irma goes to Galang's house at Shaman's behest, meets his wife, and goes to her washroom, and takes her hair from her brush and sanitary pads. After her work, she was about to leave, but Galang sees her and says, "What are you doing here? How many times have I told you to stay away from my family?" Hearing this, Irma feels even more bad for herself, but with a strong will, she goes and gives all these things to Shaman. Shaman also brought a human's leg, and at night, this black magic is started. Shaman says to Irma, "It's good that you brought the blood. It will have a better effect." He cuts the sanitary pad with a blade and drops it on the bone of the leg. After that, he recites some black magic, and all of a sudden, his house starts shaking. Finally, the ghost arrived, and with the help of the ghosts, they had to make her possess Nisa. He tells the ghost to speak in the language of the ghost and to destroy Nisa. The ghost listens to him and leaves. And Shaman tells Irma that the next 5 nights will be extremely difficult for Nisa, in which all her blood relations will die, and Irma's wishes will be fulfilled. In the first night, we see that when Nisa was praying, all of a sudden, she saw cow parts and she got scared. After that, Nisa felt as if someone had dropped a bucket full of blood on her. She got scared and screamed so badly. Galang came here, and when he looked at her, Nisa's clothes were clean, and there was no blood. He tells Nisa to rest. "I guess you're tired." The next night, we see that the effect of magic is happening to Nisa again. In this way, she cuts and eats her daughter's doll's hair. She began to vomit. When she regains consciousness, she gets worried about her strange acts. She wants to tell Galang about this, but he doesn't pay attention to her. The scene cuts, and we're shown Irma, whose sister, Wulan, is asking her about her jewelry. She says, "I know that you've given the jewelry to the shaman. You're doing something wrong." Fed up with her words, Irma scolds her and sends her away. And at night, we see that Irma's sister died. She sadly sit, and now the dead body of her sister was making her afraid. Because of this, Irma shouted badly. Then her sister Wulan comes there. We learn that whatever Irma saw was her delusion. Irma's sister was still alive. Irma has done the black magic on Nisa, but Irma herself was coming under the influence of her own magic. In the next scene, we are shown Nisa. She suddenly vomits while praying. The strange thing was that there were insects in her vomit. Giant insects. She got afraid after seeing them. Whatever bad was happening to her, for many days, she wanted to tell someone about this. So she puts these insects in a jar to show someone these insects. Later, Irma goes to Galang's mom's room. She came here to take care of her. Suddenly, God knows what happens to her. It looked like something possessed her, and she was about to kill Garland's mom. But then she suddenly regained consciousness. She didn't understand what she had done. She apologizes to Garland's mom and says, "I didn't want to kill you. I don't know what's happening to me. I don't understand myself." Before anything else went wrong, Nisa decides to go and get help from someone. And when she goes to the bathroom and picks up the jar in which she had put the worms that had come out of her vomit, she was surprised to see that there were no worms left. On the other hand, Garland's mom, who couldn't even walk, shows us that she comes to the kitchen and picks up a pot full of hot food and puts it on herself. Nisa, who had just come out of the bathroom, was worried to see all this, because now there were big wounds all over Garland's mom's body. Her body was burnt, and she died shortly after. On the third night, we are shown that it was Garland's mom's funeral, and everyone was here. At the funeral, Nisa suddenly loses control. An entity possesses her, and in this position, she picks up Garland's mom's dead body and throws it away. Everyone is scared to see this, except Irma, who knew what was happening here, and she was happy to see all this. It is shown that the imam had also come here. Looking at Nisa's condition, he understands that someone has taken over Nisa. He catches Nisa here and recites something on her, which puts Nisa in control. The imam now understands that someone had intentionally called an evil ghost to Nisa. It is shown that after his mom's funeral, when Galing goes to sleep, he too is having weird dreams. He was very scared. He saw in his dream that he was dead, and there were many women around him. He got scared and went to the imam. After telling everything to the imam answers, "I had already seen Nisa and knew that she was in the custody of an evil ghost. His name is Anazar. Anasar is a ghost who is very powerful. He hates Muslims. That's why people use him in black magic." The imam says, "Nisa will be treated. Galing, don't worry. No matter how powerful the ghost is, Allah is the most powerful, and asking Allah's help, we will cure Nisa." They give holy water to Galing for Nisa and say that we have to do an exorcism on Nisa. You bring Nisa to the back hall of the mosque. As soon as Galing came home, he saw that Nisa was screaming. Actually, she was being scared by Garland's mom's spirit. In this situation, Galing comes close to her and controls her. He puts holy water on her head. Because of this, Nisa is in a lot of pain. Looking at her condition, Galing was feeling very bad because now Galing had no one except his daughter and his wife. He lovingly puts Nisa to sleep here and goes after starting the Holy Quran on the radio. But as soon as he left, the radio stopped, and the ghost possessed Nisa badly. Now her eyes were also weird. Her lips, teeth were black, and she herself was looking like a ghost. After the scene cut, we are shown Irma's mom, who was Garland's mom's sister. After Garland's mom's death, she was also having nightmares. Today, she also gets scared of something in the kitchen and screams loudly. She breaks the utensils of the kitchen like a crazy person. And while eating the glass of the same utensils, she also dies here. Irma was very disturbed by her mom's death. She knew that the magic she had done was having a reverse effect somewhere. Before anything bad happens, she tells the truth to her sister, that yes, she had taken help from shaman. She told shaman to do magic, but shaman said that after this magic, all the deaths will be at Nisa's house. Nisa's blood relations will die. But here the opposite is happening. Here my blood relations are dying, like my mom and her sister, and now the one who survived was her sister Wulan. She was also very scared after hearing this. She was now taking Irma away from her. But Irma tells her, "Listen to me, believe me, I will fix everything." After the scene cut, we see Galing on the other side, who had to take Nisa to the imam today. The imam had told them not to worry. Allah will help us, and we will be successful in defeating that ghost. Galing was also shaking his head in response, goes to take Nisa to his house. On the way, he meets Irma. Actually, Irma had come to tell him the truth. All this is happening because of her black magic. As soon as he hears the truth, Galing is in a bad mood. Now today was the 5th night of black magic, and it was going to be very heavy on everyone. Here it is shown that Irma is going to stop everything and meet shaman. But suddenly her sister Wulan possesses and attacks Irma. Irma runs out of there, and Wulan also came out. She now comes very close to Irma and tells her, "See, today I will also die." As soon as she said this, she climbed the tree. After that, her hair stuck in the branches of the tree, and suddenly she jumped from the tree. Because of this, along with her hair, the hair of her head also fell off, and she died very badly. Seeing all this, Irma had gone crazy. She wanted to go to shaman as soon as possible and stop all these things so that at least her life is saved. On the other hand, we see that Imam had also started the exorcism of Nisa. As the holy book of the Muslims, the Quran, increases, Irma's condition continues to deteriorate. Those who had possessed her, they get out of control here and attack all the people present here and kill them. On the other hand, Irma, who had reached the place of shaman, he was not there to be found. Suddenly, negative energies take her under their control. Her body shatters, her bones break, her back breaks, and in the same way, her whole body breaks, and she also dies here badly. Here in the mosque, after killing a lot of people, Nisa had also caught Galing. Before she killed Galing, the imam here made her unconscious. But even after making her unconscious, these people see that all the bad things were happening here. And then the imam's eyes are on Sophia, on Nisa's daughter. And the biggest truth is that the magic that Irma had done on Nisa, that magic did not happen on Nisa, but on Sophia. The ghosts have possessed Sophia. And the reason was that the sanitary pad and the hair that Irma had picked up from the bathroom were not Nisa's, but Sophia's, because of which instead of Nisa, all the blood relations of Sophia died. Because of this, Irma's family was also included. Here Sophia starts killing Galling, on which Galling keeps apologizing to her. But Sophia does not listen and mercilessly kills her dad. Here, when the imam leaves Nisa and exorcises Sophia, this exorcism works and the ghosts leave Sophia. If these people had known this reality, that the magic had actually happened on Sophia, they would have been able to save a lot of people. But unfortunately, a lot of people had already died. In the last scene of the story, we are shown that Nisa is alive, but in a very bad condition. She is admitted to the hospital, and Sophia has come to her. Sophia's condition was still bad. Her terrifying face was telling that the ghosts still possessed her, and now she will kill her closest and last blood relative, her mother, with whom this movie story ends. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this movie and what other movies or documentaries you want me to review next. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.